Hey y'all, it's Steve, the Rickaholic, coming to you from picturesque Lynchburg, Tennessee, home of Jack Daniel's whiskey, which is actually why I'm down here. My day job, I transport people. I'm a chauffeur, hence the suit. I brought a group down here for a tour of said distillery. So, got a little downtime while they take their tour. Thought I'd stop in and say hello to y'all. First off, I want to say thanks to everyone for viewing episode 7, the review of the new Rickenbacker book, which is very cool. Speaking of very cool, in relation to that book, I actually received emails since the episode came out from both Martin Kelly, one of the authors of the book, and from, get this, John Hall, the CEO of Rickenbacker, inviting me to come to the premiere of the book, the official unveiling, in London, England, which, very flattering, would have been incredibly cool, but let's face it, I'm a working man, so dropping everything and running to London is not really in the cards for me, but it was great to be offered. Bit of a disappointment that I couldn't go, but I've got a much better disappointment story about England I can share with you sometime if you like, or I can just tell you now. I was playing with a band that was offered a spot at the International Pop Overthrow Festival at the legendary Cavern Club in Liverpool, England. And it was the gig was due to happen in May of 2020. Need I say more? I think you can figure out what became of that particular gig. But enough of that. So what brings me here today is to talk about the future of the channel. We have somehow over 200 subscribers now. We doubled during the pandemic, which is really notable given the fact that I did no new episodes during the pandemic. And I guess I should explain that since it's kind of the elephant in the room. I was actually laid off from my day job for quite an extended period during COVID and had to do other odd jobs, some of which were less savory than others. And frankly, I couldn't afford to buy any new instruments at the time, nor was I particularly in the frame of mind that made me want to talk about the situation. So, but now things are back more or less to normal. Although having said that, prices of everything have gone through the roof. And it's also very true of our beloved Rickenbacker guitars. If any of you have been following along, looking at Reverb or whatever else, prices have really skyrocketed. And it's a situation when I set out to make a channel where I was going to be reviewing Rickenbacker guitars and talking about them. I'm realizing that, well, for one thing, I was limiting myself and our show by just focusing on Rickenbackers, although, I mean, that was what brought us here. But what I'm thinking is and now I want your opinions on this, of course, so by all means comment. But I'm thinking of expanding the show to, rather than just being Rickenbacker Anonymous, being something akin to Guitars Anonymous or Guitar Anonymous or Guitar Nuts Anonymous. I don't know what. I've got to look and see what names are available. But expand things above and beyond just Rickenbackers. Not that they won't still show up on occasion, but we need to expand if we're going to continue, because we're, you know, kind of, it was kind of a self-limiting subject to get into. And as much as I love the guitars and the history, there's only so much you can talk about, especially if you've got limited resources to hunt them down and buy them. So let's talk about that. 200 plus subscribers. Now, my first thought when I saw that was, well, it's only 200. I mean, you know, some of the YouTube shows that I watch have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and started to think kind of negatively about that. But then I thought, on the other hand, there are over 200 of us. Now, I recently put out my first solo album of original music. If I had 200 people suddenly decide to buy my album, I'd be pretty stoked, honestly. So I thought about it, and you know, there are over 200 of us. That's a pretty nice community. And so what I'd like to know is what would you, the viewers, like to see on this channel, on this show? What sorts of things would interest you above and beyond the Rickenbacker thing? Obviously, it's going to be guitar related, but I'm trying to come up with some show ideas. And I made a list. A few of the things I thought of that could be interesting was I could possibly recap episodes of other YouTube shows to tell what the other guitar shows are talking about this week. It's, if you didn't feel like viewing them yourself, there's so many now. I could feature pieces from my own personal collection. I've got over 50 guitars now. Not that that's necessarily anything to be proud of. It's more of a hoarding situation, but I'm working on it. No, really, I'm working on it. Which goes contrary to the next suggestion, which would be, what if I did a weekly guitar hunt where I, rated the Craigslist listings and the Facebook marketplace and beat the bushes around the local flea markets and yard sales and everything else, which, I mean, frankly, I do anyway. But maybe I could get you all involved. Maybe we could do something cool like set a $100 maximum expenditure for the week and see what we can come up with. And then I can, maybe the cool things I find, I can make a special store on Reverb or something and sell off the things to buy more things, so we can keep doing that. Is this something you'd be interested in seeing? Guitar hunting? I don't know. I could do some product reviews as long as the products aren't terribly expensive. Like I said, I've got a little money, just don't have a whole lot of money. I wish I was independently wealthy, but the fact is, if I were, I wouldn't be sitting in this Sprinter van right now waiting on some people. You all could make suggestions, of course, of things for me to review. You could send in things for me to review if you wanted. It's just thoughts. Eventually, if we get enough, views and subscribers, I'm sure that I can start getting companies sending me things to review. Already the Kelly brothers sent me that amazing collector's copy of their book, to review. So that was, pretty awesome. So here's a thought that I had is, would you be interested in tuning into a live chat maybe every week? I personally tune into a couple of live chats of other guitar channels. Phil McKnight, for instance, I watch him. He's the main one that I watch. Is that something that some of you would be interested in getting in on? Would you like to call in or maybe not call in, let's say text in questions, and I could answer them, or we could have discussions, things we could possibly discuss. The ones that got away. I've got some stories to tell, that things that should never have slipped out of my hands. I'm sure you do as well. Our bucket lists, things we're looking for. Maybe you'd be interested in knowing about my rigs and my gigs, and you could tell me about yours. I could show you my pedal boards, which, I have to admit I have 3 different pedal boards for 3 different groups of music, bands that I play with. These are all ideas. Back to the guitar hunt idea. There's this show, Trogley's Guitars, where he reviews things, primarily Gibson Les Pauls, but he had a Trade Tuesday special where he would start off with something really inexpensive and trade it up over the course of a couple of months until he had something really nice that he would then sell, and he could start again, or whatever the case is. Would that be something you'd be interested in seeing me try? I'm completely open to suggestions. The only suggestion I can't take is stick to what I was already doing, because what I was already doing wasn't working. And, what I was already doing for the last year and a half was essentially nothing, which is an option as well, I suppose, but I think there's enough of you out there that would like to see me continue. So, let me know what you're thinking for this show, what you'd like to talk about, what you'd like me to talk about and show. Let me know how you feel about the live show thing. I think it could be cool, especially if, we can get even 10% of us, 20-something of us to be talking. I mean, that's a conversation. I'd love to hang out with 20, like-minded guitar enthusiasts and just talk shop, But one thing that has been suggested I should mention here is somebody said, try to do what you can to improve the sound of the shows, which I'm working on. I really am. Right now I'm filming this on a phone, which kind of, limits the sound quality, but I do want to make the sound better. I know the last episode with the book review, Parts of it were a little hard to hear. I apologize for that. It just wasn't an optimal situation. But someone suggested that while I improve the sound, that I shouldn't particularly beat myself up over picture quality or doing too much editing or whatever else, that I should just stay genuine, warts and all, as it were. And what do you think about that? I mean, do you like this format of just me chatting like, like one of you? Just looking into the camera or the phone or the iPad, whatever it is that I happen to be using, and I could just, it's certainly easier to do it this way. So let me know what you think. Other things you can do for me, as always, I'm going to suggest that you like and subscribe and absolutely do comment. Turns out the algorithm puts more weight on comments than it does on anything else, I'm finding out. Even more than possibly likes or subscriptions or even dislikes, I guess. They count them both as interactions. So comment. Let me know what you would like to see, what you'd like to hear, what you'd like me to do. If you've got some suggestions for a live show topics, if you're into that whole idea, let me know. There are over 200 of us, and I think as a community, we could have a lot of fun. This could be our show. This could be whatever show you want it to be, and we could just have fun with it. So let's try that, So until I talk to you next, I think this episode's going to have neither opening nor closing credits nor the song. So, it is what it is, but this way I can get it uploaded right away. I'm near a transmission tower, so I think I should be able to upload it right now on Tuesday, is it today, the 23rd, 22nd? I've lost track of time. Whatever day Tuesday is. So anyway, I am, was, and always will be, in my heart of hearts, Steve the Rickaholic, signing off until next time. And when we're going to talk about, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. That's up to you. Let me know what you want. I'll do what I can. So until next time, keep on keeping on and chime away. Thanks.